Hey guys, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. In this one, we're going to go ahead and break down the best options for the Fusion category team if you have, of course, the new LR card, which comes out in a couple of days or about, a day and a few hours, whatever. They're not out yet. That's the main point. So hope you guys enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to go ahead and break down the new card. And I did this for Potara yesterday. And one thing that came up in that video comments, like a few people mentioned it, and I'm sorry I forgot the names, but one thing that came up is, hey, maybe LR Goku Black isn't the best option for this team because he heals, and healing isn't he heals, he tanks, by the way, and that's not conducive to wanting to trigger the fusion mechanic. So the fusion mechanic on these two new LR cards, I presume we will see something like this going forward. It is basically when you are on turn 6 of the event, so turn 6 from the start, so I don't think you have to see these units every 6 turns, but when you're on sixth turn of the event and you're below 50% HP, they will go they will go ahead and fuse and then max recover your HP, which, by the way, that's not a good mechanic for the other card. You're not going to get both of these cards to transform in one fight because when you get max healed, unless they're both on the same rotation, which is like wonky, when you get max healed, though, the other one's just not going to be able to do it. But the thing is, it's not a bad thing, though, because Goku and Vegeta are actually really good. They are both really good individually, right? Well, just the card without being Gogeta is my point. This card is really good individually without needing to transform. It's just the links change, and for this team specifically, it's a bit easier for this unit to function. Harder for this unit to function among the Fusion team because the Fusion team does not have as much top-end talent as the Potara team does. That team is just far and away flooded with a lot more options than this team is. So for this one, we might actually have to go ahead and utilize the physical 3-key leader skill right here. So this is actually really good. Best way to run this team, by the way, is of course with double leads. You can also run one lead and then, take SS4 Gogeta friend. But if you don't know, keep in mind that if you do that, if you have to mix and match between two different Fusion category leaders, you're not going to get that secondary leader skill on both of the leaders. So, right? That's not going to happen. So here is the post transformation. They do not pick up over in a flash, but the links do completely change. Kamehameha, Golden Warrior, Super Kamehameha. Oh, Big Bang Kamehameha. I was like, why does he have that? Kamehameha, Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Fused Fighter, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. So prior to that, the only link that they had was like Saiyan Lineage, and no, this one doesn't have Saiyan Lineage. I think the other one did. Maybe I'm mistaken, but these are the links for this one. Prepare for Battle is primarily there. So the best thing about these units, to be 100% honest with you, is the fact that they pick up this mechanic right here, allowing them to get an extra 2-key before transformation and then 3-key post-transformation per rainbow orb is literally the best mechanic that they have, and it is going to allow them to get their Ultra Super more often than not, because if you give them 2 to 3 of them and you have any semblance of any good links on your team at all, they're basically guaranteed an Ultra Super. So that's great. That is really, really good. But here's the team, right? Here's the best possible fusion-centric team, and we're going to talk about this in just a minute because there are a lot of options for this. The physical units are better as far as like being able to sub in physical units for this team to take a slot or two from some of these other main fusion guys. So again, hardest hitting transcendent URs in the game, like all 3 of these guys, well, these 2 specifically, I'm not going to say the same for SS4 Gogeta because his, I don't think ever really was at the top, but Gogeta and Gotenks were at the top of that list at one point, most recently Gotenks. So this team has those 2 on the team, of course. It's not a question. They are optimal on this team. And SS4 Gogeta, the next best one, he is definitely going to be on this team. So like I said, though, some people mention that to me, and I agree that, some units are not conducive to the way that you would want to play. I mean, these units are made with Super Battle Road in mind, these new LRs. So if you're just taking our regular stuff like the new boss rushes, you're going to transform maybe one time in a fight, maybe not. Like, I honestly think that I'm going to get in a position myself, and this isn't going to be something that affects everybody. It depends on the level of how good your units are, orbs invested, and stuff like that. I just think I'll be in a position where most of the time I'm never going to see them transform, right? And that's because I'm going to use my best units. You're not going to tell me, right, that on the Potara team, I should not run my physical Vegito. I should not run my Goku Black LR. I should not run my STR Goku Black because he's too good of a defender. I should not run SS Blue Vegito, right? Because he's able to block hits to an extent. That just doesn't make sense to me. So if you want to run, I don't really know how you would do that unless you just, again, don't have the best options, which is perfectly fair. Or you just have good options, but they're just not so good investment. I don't really know how you're going to get below 50% to ever see them transform, to be honest with you. So you can actually go out of your way to make a team that's pretty much, I don't want to say crappy, but not so good, to where you can spam that. For example, if I do a showcase of them transforming, best believe it's going to be nothing but support units so I can get below 50%, and I'm going to take on a really hard event. That just rhymed, by the way. So yeah, for this team, I'm going to go ahead and function this way. But like I said earlier, it's not so good because this team is kind of reliant on Fused Fighter because they don't have a lot of prepare for battle. This team's actually really wonky, to be 100% honest. Gotenks has over in a flash, no prepare for battle. That is not a good synergy with the leader. This guy has shocking speed and over in a flash and Fused Fighter. Oh wait, no over in a flash. Well, no, he has over in a flash, but they don't have over in a flash. This guy does not have prepare for battle. So since he doesn't have prepare for battle, they're literally only linking for attack links. Across this board, this LR leader is literally only linking for attack links with most of these guys, right? So nothing but attack links, and then there's prepare for battle and Golden Warrior there. Golden Warrior will be active, but it's only a 1-key link, right? It'll be active in certain scenarios. It's only 1 key. What is this? Fierce Battle and Golden Warrior? Super Saiyan, and Fierce Battle. Okay, so no Golden Warrior there. So this is basically the best team, and it basically is built off of the base of the previous team. So here's how you can improve this. If you wanted to, you could dip this guy. He's really good. Ceiling is paramount. It's really nice. But on a team with this options and these options and stuff, you don't need it. So bye, Gotenks. By the way, before I proceed, if you don't have one of these units, like, for example, if you don't have this guy, use his STR variant. If you don't have his STR variant, use the next best fusion category or fusion card, in the fusion category that you have, or next best physical unit, right? If you have SS Blue Vegito, he can be on this team and he can function well. 90% is actually really solid for him. It just depends what your options are. If you don't have that, I would put a unit that has prepare for battle, like physical Goku Black, and this applies to whatever you're missing. If you have this guy, great. If you don't, run his tech form, the old tech SS3 Gotenks, he will function really well on this team because actually he'll be able to get his 11 key pretty often, I'd say, on this team, since there's going to be 2 LRs floating around that he basically doesn't link with, which is great for Gotenks. Gotenks is the biggest benefactor of that, not linking with the leader. So you can do that. If you don't have the tech guy, again, best physical units, even if you have to turn this damn team into a mono physical team, you can do that and have great success because they have that secondary leader skill. It just comes down to what you have. I can't tell you what the next best thing is if I don't know your options. So I have to make that type of general statement for you guys to proceed. So if we're going to go ahead and drop him, and Pandel is awesome. Her support is really, really good. She has good links, but goodbye. I could swear that the other Goku and Vegeta card had like experienced fighters, by the way, which I don't think this one does. It does. Never mind. So that's actually a link that it should share with Int Gogeta, by the way, which is pretty cool. And some people are telling me that the leader will link post-transformation with like Gogeta or Super Vegito. I don't know if that's because the people that they saw the gameplay from was on private server or not. Excuse me, but if that's a thing, that's really cool. This is basically his best link buddy. So before and after transformation, that needs to be a rotation. Even if this is STR Gogeta, who does not have experienced fighters, if I recall, it doesn't matter. That is the best rotation for the LR to succeed. Now, if you need to funnel in other units, this is how you're going to do it. If you have LR Trunks, he goes in the team. He has to prepare for battle. That is a bonus. If you don't have him, SS Blue Vegito goes into this team. He has Fused Fighter and prepare for battle and over in a flash. He is literally the best linking buddy for this team. And if you have a good one, this is a really good opportunity to use him. If you're somebody in a position like me where I have 100% one and, tech came out and I basically can't use this guy anymore, this is a really good position for him to be in. Aside from that, next best options going down the physical list. Goku Black would be a good option. Kefla is okay. She doesn't have prepare for battle, but she does have Fused Fighter, and she does also generate orbs. If you wanted to use Kefla, you can do so with great success because she would, again, generate orbs that the LR can steal, right? So that works. You can kind of make her like the intelligence rage Trunks that Gohan steals the orbs from. What I'm saying is that there's not really a right or wrong way to do this, by the way. If you haven't understood, I showed you the best team. There's not really a right or wrong way. You may agree or disagree with a unit or two, but that's fair. It all comes down to preference. So last couple of slots, I would recommend this Gohan is okay, but since he doesn't have Prepare for Battle, he could be a liability in certain cases. So I'd rather just not run him. If you want to run a unit that's a support unit, Rage Trunks does have Prepare for Battle at the expense of a marginally weaker passive support. LSSJ Broly is a cool unit, I guess, as well. And this guy is the last one I'm going to mention before I move on to my next topic. Oh, and Bardock, I guess. Bardock is cool too. But this guy can actually be really good here, considering that there are so many physical units, because there's going to be 2 LRs, this guy, and then maybe you funnel in, this guy too. Since there's so many physical units, most of your units are going to get this buff. So, yeah, you're going to be set. That's actually a really, really, really good option. 3 key, off rotation, 40% attack and defense. That's a really good option. But if you need to put a unit in that last slot, there are several options, and one of them is actually a fusion category unit. This guy right here, right? This guy right here can actually be a really solid option on this team because of the fact that he generates rainbow orbs. Generating rainbow orbs plays directly into what the leader is good at. It allows the leader to get more ki and a more consistent Ultra Super. Alongside that, another option would be Kaioken Goku. He changes a different color of orb, but the problem with him is that he does not have Prepare for Battle or Fused Fighter. He has Shocking Speed and Over in a Flash, but the only real unit that benefits from Shocking Speed is SS4 Gogeta. If you don't have him, then there's literally no reason to run this guy. Otherwise, Over in a Flash is triggered on the 2 Gogeta units and Gotenks unit. Otherwise, there's also this guy, the Ginyu Goku from the Baba Shop, and you can actually use those to great effect. And lastly, I think there was one more unit down here. Whirus. Yeah, there we go. I talked about Kefla, and similarly, you can run, the 17s if you need to. But Whirus. I think Whirus 100% deserves a slot on that team, especially if you run LR Trunks, by the way. Generating 2 orbs, he can actually be on this team and get a percentage boost increase, so he's not 100% detriment to your team. So if your team has to look something like this, it's not a bad team. If it looks something like this is actually a really, really good team, especially because Whirus has Fused Fighter. Whirus can actually make this all work, okay? This is actually a really, really good team. It's just physical unit heavy, but it works, it functions, it will get the job done. Like I talked about with the other team, there is not as much top-end units here. There are not as many, but you can still function this way. And if you wanted to run, a scenario where you confuse a bit more, I'd drop him because he counters. Don't need the countering. Gotenks can stay. You can stay even though you reduce enemy attack. You can stay because it's not a great reduction. I'd drop Trunks and I'd put in other units that can do damage and probably, I don't want to say tank like Physical Vegito. By the way, I didn't talk about Physical Vegito. Damn, how did I forget that, man? He can actually be on this team too. And he and Vegito Blue are this is basically a mono tech team or mono physical team. Those two are like the best options for this team. I just realized this because they both have Prepare for Battle, Fused Fighter, and Over in a Flash, except for this guy. He doesn't have Over in a Flash. He shares 4 links with the leader pre-transformation. Oh, man. This has to be a physical team, doesn't it? It has to be a damn physical team. If I go back over, it's funny. I'm actually learning something myself here, so forgive me if it seems like I'm all over the place. If I go back over here and enable the fusion category again, if this is the damn team, what goes in the last freaking slot? Oh, Gogeta. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you can run this. There's no supports, which I love supports because they generate so much attack, but you can do that if you need to. There's no wrong way to do this, folks. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new for more content. I'll catch you guys in the next Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle team building video. Take it easy, guys.